Today we're diving into something that starts out as a simple writer's trick, but as you'll see, it quickly blossoms into a powerful, real-world life skill. We're talking about the power of point of view.
Let's just start with this. One says, "She ignored me." The other says, "I didn't see her." I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? One person feels totally invisible, completely slighted, and the other person is just oblivious. It's the exact same moment in time, but it results in two totally different realities. And that right there is the heart of what we're getting into today. This idea that a single moment can hold two completely different truths. It shows us how our own personal perspective literally shapes the world we experience.
So we're starting with this gap, this space that exists between one person's experience and another's. And that really begs the question, right? How in the world do you bridge that gap? Well, it turns out storytellers have a specific tool designed for exactly that.
And that tool is point of view, or POV. You can think of it like the writer's camera. It's the lens they choose that frames absolutely everything we see, everything we hear, and everything we feel in a story.
Okay, so let's take a closer look at how this camera actually works. You've got first person, where the narrator is right there in the story using I or we. Then there's third person, where the narrator is on the outside looking in. And even that can be broken down, right? It can be third limited, where we're basically glued to one character's shoulder, only knowing their thoughts, or it can be third omniscient, where the narrator is like a god knowing what everyone is thinking.
All right, time to put that theory into practice. Take a look at these two little passages here. Can you feel the difference in the point of view? Passage 1 is classic first person. I knew the answer. Bam! We are immediately inside that character's head, feeling their confidence, their hesitation. But passage 2 is third person. Maria looked, she wished. See the difference? We're watching Maria from the outside. One is an internal experience, the other is an external observation.
Now for the really cool part, let's see how just a tiny shift in this technical tool can completely change our connection to a character. Okay, so here's a scene about a boy named Caleb, and it's told in the third person. We see what he does. He's watching his friends, he's kicking pebbles. The narrator even tells us he wants to join. And yeah, it's a little sad, but we're still kind of at a distance, you know? We're on the outside, looking in.
But now, look at this. It's the same scene, but it's rewritten from Caleb's own voice. I watched my friends. It's the same event, but the camera has completely moved. We are no longer just observing Caleb. We are Caleb. We're standing right there on the edge of that playground with him.
So, what does this little change actually do for us? Well, by shifting from just watching him to being inside his head, it unlocks everything. We don't just know he feels lonely, we feel the loneliness. We can feel his deep desire to connect and that knot of anxiety that's holding him back. And here's the crucial point. That simple switch from he to I is so much more than a grammar lesson. It's a bridge, a powerful bridge of empathy. It takes us from feeling sorry for him to actually understanding him.
And this is where we zoom out from the page and into the real world. Because this power, this ability to intentionally shift your perspective, it's not just a writer's trick. It's a profound tool for understanding each other in our everyday lives. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The hard facts of what happened might not change, but making the choice to see it from another angle, that can change everything about the human connection. It's the very first step toward empathy.
You know, this idea is ancient. Just think about the parable of the Good Samaritan. That story was specifically told to challenge the audience's perspective. By making the hero an outsider, someone they wouldn't expect, the story forces you to completely flip your expectations and see goodness from a brand new point of view.
And that's really the ultimate goal, isn't it? These stories aren't just meant to be passively heard. They're an invitation to step out of our own heads and practice empathy, to intentionally try and see the world through someone else's eyes.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it's the idea that learning these kinds of tools isn't just some dry academic exercise. It's actually part of a much deeper philosophy of learning.
At its heart, this philosophy says that you just can't separate education from morality. Learning a skill like how to spot point of view isn't just about passing an English test. No, it's directly tied to the moral call to practice empathy. The belief here is that when you combine these learning tools with a spiritual mindset, that's what leads to real, genuine understanding and peace.
And so, we're going to end with a question that takes this entire idea and puts it right into your hands. This isn't just for writers anymore. It's a daily practice, a choice. So whose shoes will you choose to walk in today? Whose perspective will you try to understand?